Hi, hello everyone, welcome back to a new video on this channel. Today I'm going to be talking about everything that has happened with Seunghan from beginning to end. Explaining what will happen with SM in the coming years if they continue down this path, and especially how the so-called fans of RIIZE organized to do everything they did. I'll give you a hint, they are basically jobless and have plenty of free time. So without further ado, let's get started.
You play me like a
RIIZE is a group from SM that was highly anticipated since their pre-debut. Everyone was eagerly waiting for the debut of the first boy group after NCT. So when the first photos of the members were released on August 1, 2023, everyone was paying attention. Among them were former members of NCT and a guy who quickly caught attention due to certain photos that began circulating, distributed by a Twitter user. That guy was Seunghan, and in those photos, he was seen with a girl and apparently smoking when he was underage. On November 22nd, almost 2 months after the debut, SM announced that Seunghan would pause his activities with the group, and they mentioned their intentions to identify the person who had distributed the images in order to file a lawsuit with Korea's cyber police. As of today, I can tell you that publicly, no one knows who it was, and it also doesn't seem like SM has much intention of bringing anyone to justice. It's been almost a year since that day, for comebacks without his presence, plus a tour, the group's anniversary, and even his birthday, and news about Seunghan was minimal. Fans were starting to lose hope that he could return until, finally, on October 11th, it was announced that Seunghan was coming back. He also released another apology letter and promised to do things right. Additionally, Wonbin made a post where he mentioned that the decision for Seunghan to return had been a collective one, and you could sense the affection he and all the members of RIIZE had for him. It seemed like everything was in order. Social media was flooded with posts of support, and at that moment, RIIZE was performing at Music Bank in Spain, and the crowd was shouting that RIIZE had 7 members. But since not everything can be perfect, Korean fans were upset with this situation because they don't approve of idols having relationships. They see it as a betrayal. They expect their idols to be perfect, and apparently, that includes being loyal to their fans and not dating anyone. Obviously, they didn't stay quiet and made an entire plan. When it was announced that Seunghan would return to the group, the first thing these Korean fans did was request permits to protest on a piece of land owned by the city. What they did was to buy wreaths, which are funeral flowers, fill them with anti-Seunghan messages, and place them in front of the SM building. They obtained that permit, so those flowers were protected, and no one could touch them. They could only be removed if they were obstructing the pedestrian pathway, which they were careful to ensure didn't happen because then they could be taken away. These flowers are extremely expensive, so they collected $10,000 to finance this so-called project, but we're talking about each one costing between $100 and $120. The numbers don't add up. Math isn't mathing, especially considering that if they were broken, the staff would replace them with others. Because yes, they hired staff and 24-hour security to make it a law-abiding protest. There were trucks, people dancing in front of the flowers, tearing down signs with his name. And they also had more things planned that they ultimately didn't do because, according to them, they had already achieved their goal. They also flooded Kwangya 119, which is a site provided by SM where fans can send reports, clearly not letting that pass and filling it with complaints. Additionally, some merchandise items that were bought during the RIIZE career could still be returned, so they did it under Seunghan's name. All of this was directed by Korean fans, and it seems that the account managing everything was RIIZE. And apparently, this whole circus was seen by Seunghan, who was spotted walking nearby and looking at the flowers. This is complete madness in my opinion. Korea, being a country so aware of bullying, doesn't realize that they are ruining a boy's dream simply because he had a girlfriend. Obviously, international fans are furious about this situation. So they counterattacked by going to where these projects were happening and cutting the flowers, putting up signs saying RIIZE is 7, and showing a lot of love on social media. With all this situation and just 2 days after his return, SM announced that due to the fans' reaction, Seunghan would not be returning to the group after all, and that RIIZE would remain with 6 members. This situation is extremely delicate But what I don't understand is why SM wanted to market RIIZE as a global group if they weren't going to listen to international fans afterward. They take advantage of the popularity that the global name gives them, but then don't want to consider the international fans who also support and spend money on the group. They said they listened to the fans, but only to the upset Korean minority because one person had a life. I feel that SM's decision is going to have serious consequences. They have basically told the fans that if they scream loud enough, they will listen to them. That is very dangerous. What would have happened to Henry if SM had listened to the protests when they wanted him out of his group? Well, they did listen to them and he didn't join Super Junior, but we have other cases like with Yeri when Korea wanted her out of Red Velvet and the company didn't listen. Also Chen when fans got angry because he as an adult was going to get married and have a daughter. SM to a certain extent has protected their artists in those situations, but I feel that this is a turning point. Now every time an SM artist does something that is frowned upon by the fans, they are going to create this whole circus, and the worst part is that now they know that once it worked and they ended up achieving their goal, so they will do it even stronger. I don't think SM has considered the consequences of Seunghan leaving, as international stores are already boycotting the group and have decided not to sell their products. International fans are refusing to continue supporting this company, all because they chose to prioritize a portion of the Korean fans. And I don't know if they realize the damage they've done to the group. This situation was already delicate and affected them even more considering they were a rookie group. But how must the members feel seeing that their own fans did this to their friend? Do you remember Wonbin's post where he talked about Seunghan? Today it's deleted, the smiles that appeared when someone mentioned him. Now it has changed to sad faces at the airport and silence towards reporters. We could all see the great relationship that the seven of them had, and this affects all seven. It's very sad that it has ended this way, and the worst part is that this isn't the end of the story. The other guys will have to look at their fans and only think about who among them danced in front of the funeral flowers they placed for their friend. I've also seen that some news outlets say that SM's stock fell due to the announcement of Seunghan's return. And while that's true, I'm not sure if the drop was really significant since it went from 66 point to 265, which is quite a bit of money, but this is the chart of SM stock over the last 6 months. Do you really see it as significant? But I don't know much about this topic, so I'll keep quiet and listen to the experts. Lastly, I want to add that there are several projects where signatures are being gathered for Seunghan to return. I don't know if it will lead to anything. I don't think SM will change their decision, but I'm still going to leave the link in the description in case you want to support. This situation is so difficult that I don't see any solution. I hope you've been able to learn more about the issue and can give me your opinion in the comments if there's anything you'd like to add.
And this has been all. I hope you like it. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did. It would help me a lot. See ya.